In the ever-complicated, emotions run deep, and relationships shift quicker than the tides. For Kate Roberts, life seems to be handing her another painful challenge. As she watches from afar, an unsettling worry begins to stir in her heart. Marlena Evans and Roman Brady, two former lovers with a storied history, appear to be growing closer than ever, especially in the wake of recent tragedies. And this closeness is beginning to ignite the flames of jealousy within Kate. Kate's concerns aren't without reason. Marlena Evans, the beloved psychiatrist of Salem, is currently facing one of the most difficult chapters in her life. Her husband, John Black, has tragically passed away, leaving Marlena vulnerable and deeply heartbroken. In her grief, Marlena instinctively turns to Roman Brady, her former husband and longtime confidant. Their bond, though romantic ties were severed years ago, remains deeply rooted in trust and mutual understanding. For Kate, Roman isn't just any man, he's her current partner, someone she deeply cares about and depends on for emotional security. Witnessing Roman's comforting embrace with Marlena strikes a nerve deep within her. She fears losing Roman, suspecting that Marlena's grief might rekindle old feelings and bring about a reunion between these two former lovers. The catalyst for the escalating closeness between Marlena and Roman arises from a gripping mystery unfolding in Salem. Recently, the town has been rocked by a shocking incident at the DiMera mansion involving E.J. DiMera and his nephew, Johnny DiMera. Young Rachel Black, a witness to the heated exchange, believes she saw Johnny threaten E.J. with a gun. Disturbed by what she witnessed, Rachel turns to Marlena, the woman she trusts most, seeking truth and clarity. Marlena, known for her calming presence and steadfast integrity, is determined to uncover the facts. Her pursuit for the truth brings her closer to Roman Brady, who still holds an important place in Salem's police force and in her heart. Together, Marlena and Roman set out to investigate the tense situation, confronting Johnny about his alleged actions. While Johnny firmly denies shooting E.J., insisting instead that it was E.J. who fired the weapon, Marlena and Roman remain determined to reveal the truth. Throughout this process, Kate's anxiety steadily grows. She watches carefully as Marlena and Roman share frequent private moments discussing the unfolding investigation. Each hushed conversation and comforting embrace heightens Kate's sense of unease. Her imagination spirals, envisioning a scenario where Roman might slowly drift back into Marlena's arms, bound together once again by shared trauma and enduring friendship. Kate, however, has never been one to sit idly by as events unfold. Known for her sharp instincts and assertive nature, she decides that she must take action. Driven by jealousy and fear of losing Roman, Kate begins subtly inserting herself into situations that Marlena and Roman share. She ensures her presence is known, gently reminding Roman of their current bond, hoping to silently mark her territory without causing overt conflict. Yet, beneath Kate's outward composure, her anxiety steadily simmers. She understands Marlena's situation, empathizing with the sorrow that comes with losing a spouse, but Kate also knows Marlena's deep connection with Roman runs beyond mere friendship. It is a bond strengthened through decades of shared history, including raising children and navigating countless crises together. Kate begins to worry whether her subtle tactics will be enough or if she must take more direct action to protect her relationship. As tensions rise, the stage is set for potential confrontation. Will Kate's jealousy push her to openly challenge Marlena, risking friendships and further complicating Roman's feelings? Or will Kate find reassurance in Roman's commitment to her, trusting that he will remain loyal despite the closeness he shares with Marlena? In Salem, where romance, mystery, and drama intertwine daily, the coming weeks promise to reveal just how far Kate will go to secure her place by Roman's side. Will Marlena and Roman's bond grow stronger amid crisis, or will Kate successfully defend her love and keep Roman's affections firmly with her? The answers lie ahead, wrapped in intrigue, emotion, and the ever-unpredictable twists of life in Salem. Next, Yesterday's episode delivered a cascade of emotional revelations, heart-wrenching confessions, and soul-searching conversations that left viewers perched on the edge of their seats. Rachel's shocking secret unveiled. The episode opened with a scene that crackled with tension, set in the cozy, softly lit living room of Dr. Marlena Evans, Salem's beloved psychiatrist and a pillar of wisdom for her family and friends. Marlena, with her warm yet probing gaze, sat across from her granddaughter, Rachel Black, a young girl whose wide eyes betrayed a storm of emotions. Rachel, usually so vibrant and chatty, had been unusually subdued, her small frame curled into the corner of the plush sofa. Marlena, ever attuned to the unspoken, gently pressed Rachel about her recent sleepless nights, her voice a soothing balm against the girl's evident distress. "Sweetheart, you've been tossing and turning," Marlena said, her tone laced with grandmotherly concern. "Is there something troubling you?" The question hung in the air, heavy with anticipation. Rachel's lips trembled, and for a moment, it seemed she might retreat into silence. But then, as if unburdening a weight too heavy for her young heart, she whispered words that sent a chill through Marlena's seasoned soul. "I heard myself say, 'Don't shoot him,' in my sleep." Marlena's heart skipped a beat. A nightmare, perhaps, but one that hinted at something far darker. Her mind raced back to a conversation she'd overheard between Rachel and her mother, Kristen DiMera, a woman whose penchant for secrets was as legendary as her fierce maternal instincts. Kristen's hushed warning to Rachel, "Don't tell anyone," had struck Marlena as odd at the time, but now it loomed like a shadow over this fragile moment. With the patience of a saint and the skill of a therapist, Marlena coaxed Rachel to open up, her voice steady despite the growing dread in her chest. Taking a deep, shuddering breath, Rachel's words tumbled out like a dam breaking, "I know who shot my Uncle E.J." The room seemed to hold its breath as Marlena leaned forward, her eyes wide with shock. E.J. DiMera, the charismatic yet polarizing figure whose recent shooting had rocked Salem, was at the center of this mystery. The town had been abuzz with speculation, but no one expected the truth to come from a child. "It was Johnny," Rachel confessed, her voice barely above a whisper. "Johnny shot Uncle E.J." The revelation landed like a thunderbolt. Johnny DiMera, E.J.'s own son, implicated in such a heinous act? Marlena's mind reeled, torn between disbelief and the chilling realization that Rachel's words carried the weight of truth. Johnny, with his brooding intensity and complex relationship with his father, had always been a wild card, but this? This was unthinkable. Marlena's first instinct was to protect Rachel, to shield her from the fallout of this explosive secret. But as a psychiatrist, she knew the truth could not be buried forever. The question was, what would she do next? A wedding and a whispered plan. The scene shifted to the vibrant greenery of Salem's town park, where preparations for a wedding were in full swing. Flowers bloomed in riotous color, and the air buzzed with the excitement of love and celebration. Rachel, now clinging to Marlena's hand, seemed momentarily distracted by the festive atmosphere, but Marlena's thoughts were elsewhere. She needed to speak to Brady Black, Rachel's father, about what she had just learned. Brady, with his rugged charm and fierce devotion to his daughter, deserved to know the truth, or at least, to be prepared for its consequences. But fate, as it so often does in Salem, had other plans. Just as Marlena spotted Brady across the park, his phone rang, and he was whisked away on urgent business. Frustration gnawed at her, but Marlena was nothing if not resourceful. She reached for her phone and dialed Roman Brady, her ex-husband and a trusted confidant whose steady presence had anchored her through countless crises. "Roman, we need to talk," she said, her voice low and urgent. "After the ceremony. It's about Rachel and E.J." As the wedding bells began to chime, Marlena stood among the crowd, her smile a mask for the turmoil within. The joy of the moment was undeniable, but beneath it all, a storm was brewing. Rachel's secret was a ticking time bomb, and Marlena knew that when it detonated, no one in Salem would be left unscathed. Tate's heartfelt dilemma. Meanwhile, in the heart of Salem's bustling town square, another drama was unfolding, one that tugged at the heartstrings with its raw honesty. Tate Black, a young man grappling with the weight of adulthood, sat across from Shane Donovan at a quaint cafe table, steaming cups of coffee between them. The morning sun cast dappled shadows across their faces, but the warmth of the day did little to ease the tension in Tate's shoulders. Shane, with his weathered but kind eyes, sensed the boy's unease and broached a subject that had been simmering beneath the surface. "Tate, about the baby," Shane began, his voice gentle but direct. The baby in question was the child Tate and his girlfriend, Sophia, had decided to place for adoption after Sophia's false labor scare. The decision had been agonizing, born of the realization that they were too young to shoulder the responsibilities of parenthood. But as Shane watched Tate's expression, he saw a flicker of doubt. "Are you maybe having second thoughts?" he asked, his tone free of judgment. Tate's gaze dropped to his coffee, his fingers tracing the rim of the cup as he wrestled with his emotions. "No regrets," he said finally, his voice firm but tinged with sadness. "Sophia and we're not ready. We're just kids ourselves." But then his eyes met Shane's, and the words poured out, raw and unfiltered. "What if the baby feels abandoned? What if they grow up wondering why we didn't want them?" The question hung between them, heavy with the weight of a future neither could predict. Shane, a father who had navigated his own share of family turmoil, leaned back in his chair, his expression softening with empathy. He thought of his daughter, Eve, whose life had been scarred by feelings of rejection and abandonment. "It's not the same, Tate," he said, his voice steady but warm. "Eve's story, it was complicated. You and Sophia are making a choice out of love, to give this child a life you feel you can't provide right now. That's courage, not abandonment." Tate nodded, but the worry in his eyes lingered. Shane's words were a comfort, but they couldn't erase the quiet fear that his decision might ripple through the years, touching a child he would never know. As they parted ways, Tate's heart was a little lighter, but the shadow of doubt remained, a reminder that even the right choices come with a cost. Sisterly bonds and family ties across town, at the cozy Brady pub, another scene unfolded, rich with the warmth of family and the undercurrent of concern. Carrie Brady sat across from her sister, Belle Black, their coffee cups clinking softly as they shared a rare moment of quiet. The pub, with its worn wooden tables and walls adorned with family photos, was a haven of familiarity, but Carrie's brow was furrowed with worry. "Belle, I'm scared for you," she admitted, her voice low. "This thing with EJ, it's stirring up a lot of feelings in the family." Belle, ever the free spirit, sighed but met her sister's gaze with determination. "I know it's complicated, Carrie. But my heart's telling me to follow this path, no matter what anyone else thinks." Her words were brave, but there was a flicker of uncertainty in her eyes, a silent acknowledgement of the storm her choices might unleash. E.J. DiMera was a man who divided opinions in Salem, and Belle's involvement with him was a gamble that could cost her dearly. As the sisters talked, their nephew Will Horton joined them, his easy smile a welcome addition to the table. "Sonny sends his regrets," he said, sliding into a chair. "He got tied up with work, but he's here in spirit." The conversation turned lighter, filled with laughter and shared memories, but beneath it all, the weight of Belle's decision lingered. Carrie's protective instincts were on high alert, and Will's presence was a reminder that family, for better or worse, was the heartbeat of Salem. A town on the brink. As the episode drew to a close, the threads of these stories wove together a tapestry of drama that promised more twists to come. Rachel's secret about Johnny's role in EJ's shooting was a spark that could ignite a firestorm, testing the bonds of family and loyalty. Marlena's quiet resolve to uncover the truth hinted at a reckoning that would shake Salem to its core. Tate's heartfelt conversation with Shane revealed a young man grappling with the consequences of his choices, while Belle's determination to follow her heart set the stage for a clash that could fracture her family. For the residents of Salem, life is never simple. Every secret, every decision, every whispered confession carries the potential to upend the fragile balance of their world. And for viewers, especially those who have watched these characters grow and evolve over decades, these moments are a reminder of why Days of Our Lives endures. It's a story of human hearts, flawed and beautiful, navigating the complexities of love, guilt, and redemption. As the sun sets over Salem, casting long shadows across the town square, one thing is certain. The days ahead will be filled with more revelations, more heartache, and more of the indomitable spirit that defines this beloved community. Stay tuned, for in Salem, the drama never sleeps.